So Dion Isaiah Knight gives us our last what if for the week. He asked the question, what if the Hulk was real? Now I've actually seen there's actually a channel that actually talks about what if this thing was real or something like that. But basically, and I think they probably did a Hulk episode too. I didn't watch it. But what if the Hulk was real? So essentially, we have to basically assume that there's a individual called Bruce Banner, and this happened to him. So what if the Hulk was real? Well, to start off, I do believe that and we're assuming the military is looking for him. I would assume that he would probably be a wanted fugitive. He would. The Hulk was real. He would do. I think Bruce would do his best to keep the Hulk in base under wraps. So he would be laying low in places that would not have the best surveillance, like, because we can just track people with satellites if we really want to. That's why I don't get that most of the time in the movies. Like, why don't you just track them with a satellite? It's like, seriously, we can identify a penny on the sidewalk, for God's sake. So how do we not do that? He would have to go off grid, basically, like places like Antarctica, like the deep parts of like Russia or Calcutta or something like that, as he was away from that. But the problem is, with today's society, it'd be very difficult for him to disappear. Also, him trying to keep the Hulk at bay is only going to work so long. Eventually, at some point, the Hulk's going to be released. Now, what happens when the Hulk is released? Well, he is destructive. There would be civilians that would probably be killed. Unfortunately, there is no... knowing how strong the Hulk actually is, even lowballing the Hulk, like what we see in something like it's Ang Lee's the Hulk or the cinematic Marvel Universe, or even like the cartoons, lowballing the Hulk, there is no weapon we have on this planet that could kill the lowest ball you could do is, the Lou Ferrigno Hulk, which did die in one of the movies. But if you're going to the Hulk, there's no weapon we have on this planet that could kill the Hulk. The nuclear atomic radiation or atomic bombs, he survived those. Hydrogen bombs, he survived those. He survived far more than anything we have that we can dish out with them. It takes superpowered individuals to take on the Hulk. Or, superpowered individuals, mental manipulation, things along those lines. Sadly, we don't have that. We are basically squishy meat bags with this one superpowered monster running around. Now, fortunately, here's the thing about that. Is that Bruce, I think after a while there would be like hesitation, like just don't bring the Hulk out, don't force the Hulk out with this guy. And I do imagine that Bruce would basically just avoid humanity. Here's the thing: while Bruce wants to find a cure for himself, he never could really. I think he would do the smart thing because he's a genius and avoid humanity. He just wants to be left alone to deal with the Hulk in his own way. And unfortunately, because of the way we are, we'd still be constantly looking for him. However, the Hulk himself would probably, jump to an island or something that's uninhabited, something like that, and just live out his days, if he could, as Bruce Banner or as the Hulk. And, yeah, I think really what would ultimately happen is one of two things. One, the world goes to war with the Hulk and loses. The Hulk would decimate the majority of our weapons, our nuclear arms, and just wreak havoc on the world. However, the other option is Bruce just lives in solitude his entire life and just doesn't bother anyone, and the world basically just continues on as normally would, with people trying to find him, but ultimately failing, because I think he'd just be one jump ahead of him, literally. So, ultimately, what happens if the Hulk were real? Well, you either have a whole annihilation of countries that courtesy of the Hulk being attacked, or you have nothing happen. Ultimately, nothing happened. There would be casualties by the army attacking, but he eventually would disappear, and then he's done with that. So, that's basically where I think would happen if the Hulk were real. If the Hulk were real, we'd either have basically our entire superpowers just wrecked to crap and just wasted, or you'd have a guy who just goes into solitude after a couple instances and just lives out his life in peace, just avoiding everything. But yeah, that's my interpretation of what would happen. What do you think? Yeah, put in the comments below. Let me know. Thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. This is the last week of What Ifs. Now, last week. This is the last of the week of What Ifs. I was actually able to get through them all. Now, I do still have 2 What Ifs floating around. I got the what if no one knew Naruto was a Jinchuriki, and the what if Goku had gone Super Saiyan as a kid, who would win? So what I'm going to do, basically, I'm just going to rotate between them. Monday will be one for my first what if, and then Tuesday will be for the other what if. And I'm basically just going to rotate between them, one on Wednesday, one on Sunday, until I basically get done with one, and then just end out the last one, and then just continue on with that. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do with that. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the week of who wins next week. Ooh. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you folks next time.